Hi, my name is Amy Ricker, and I teach special education for kinder prep, kindergarten, and first grade in Scott City, Kansas. I'm located approximately 60 miles from the Colorado border, so therefore I am in true rural western Kansas. I have not always taught special education. I started out teaching regular ed for 2 years in Salina, Kansas, which is more centrally located in Kansas and a much larger school district. I taught third and fourth grade there, and I enjoyed what I did, but my husband, when he graduated from the Law Enforcement Academy, he was offered a position in western Kansas out here closer to his family and to his farming that he enjoyed. So I had to look for a new position. At the time, I interviewed for a fourth grade position, but in my interview, I had talked about wanting to go back to college and had looked at either getting a further degree in technology or in special ed. After my interview, the principal notified me that a special ed position had came open. So I went back to college a little sooner than I had planned and got my special ed degree. I taught special ed in Colby for 5 years. I was an interrelated teacher there for third, fourth, and fifth. And then we had our first child. And so I took a little break. And then when I was ready to go back, I looked for positions and I ended up changing gears just a little. I went to the gifted program and was a gifted facilitator for 5 years here in Scott City. And I was also a special ed technology coordinator for our co-op that's based out of Ulysses. And so I traveled all of Southwest Kansas, interacting with teachers and students who had special needs, who needed assistance in finding ways to access their education a little better. I enjoyed traveling and getting to work with all varieties of students and ages and teachers. But after our second child was born and they got a little older and started getting interactive in school, I went back to the other end, where I'm at now, with the littles in special ed. And I love them. I currently have the 3 grades, and I have 13 kids that I work with. Their needs vary from mild learning disabilities and developmental delays to severely autistic, high functioning, and low functioning nonverbal. Over the last couple of years, my administrator that I work under through the co-op has encouraged me to become more of a leader in my role and has kind of pushed me out of my comfort zone. I have done a lot of presentations for our co-op and for other school districts. I have been a mentor for several teachers throughout our co-op and through our current local district. I have been asked to be on our district leadership team as we venture through the new state alignment and where that's going to take us. So I've kind of decided over the last several years, my husband and I have had conversations where we want to be as our kids go off to college and we start looking at retirement down the road. I enjoy special ed very much, and I want to stay a part of that. The burnout is a true thing. So as I've done this for special ed for 16 years, I'm finding I'm starting to get to that point. So I have looked at getting my administration degree. I do not necessarily plan on being in a principal position. I hope to continue working through the special ed departments in the Western Kansas cooperatives that we have out here in some sort of or form of administration. As it comes to communication and your communities, that is a very key factor in being successful with your colleagues, with your other administrators, with your parents, and your business leaders in your community. Your stakeholders are very important. When I was young, my parents taught me to advocate and communicate my wants and my needs and I find myself as a teacher, that is something I work very hard with. My kindergartners and my littles is learning how to communicate. As I sit in the current position I'm in with the leadership team that I work with, some of the leaders I work with are better at communicating than others, and I try to learn and watch and take note of things that I see or things that I hear, and try to remember those and put those into good use for communication. I think it's very important that you build your communication amongst the people you work with and with your kiddos, and you also have to be a good communicator with parents, but you also have to be a good communicator with your stakeholders that are not right here in the school, that are out in the community. That's the biggest thing that you have to work on, is being able to communicate your wants and your needs with them and build relationships to have a successful school. So that's kind of where I'm at, and I hope to take a lot out of this class over the next 3 weeks and be able to use that to help with our moving forwards.